Hello, my name is Podkane and Capricorn Venus. This is your you and I relationship reading for the month of June 2024. If maybe you're a Capricorn sun and you're here, you don't know what your Venus sign is, I invite you to check out the link in the description below with the instructions to get your birth chart with all of your placements, including your Venus sign, which is the subject of what we are reading with today. So having said that, if you're in fact a Capricorn Venus, like I told you you should be if you're watching this, or maybe you're a cross watcher and you know your partner's stuff, which is messy, but I'm here for it. We have 3 decks that we're going to use today. First, we're going to get a vibe check from the What's the Vibe Oracle. Then we're going to do a 15 card spread that I designed using the Mystic Mondays Tarot. And then we're going to get some advice and some help and some kind of wrap it all up clarification from the Success Oracle deck. And I've already pre-shuffled for you. It's a new thing that I'm doing since my last round of 12 readings, which took me forever. And I mean, I don't want to like waste anybody's time, not mine, not yours. Like, let's just get into it. I already have to take some time pulling the cards. Oh, that's too many. Just give me one. Capricorn Venus, what's the vibe for the relationship? Recharge. Yeah, I already have to take a lot of time just pulling these cards, so I just want to shorten it if I can. It's been useful so far. So, recharge. It says, breathe, let go, and clear your mind. You're kind of in a contemplative state right now regarding your relationship. All right, so first we're going to pull for you, then a card for them, your person. This is, I guess, a couple cards. This reading is designed for partnerships and romantic relationships. So marriages, long-term relationships, short-term relationships, situationships, what have you. So what's the issue between Capricorn Venus and their person right now? Okay, giving and receiving. What are you wanting from the relationship right now? What are you wanting, Venus and Capricorn? Oh, okay, not much, huh? And what is your person wanting from the relationship? What is your person wanting? What is your person wanting from the relationship? What are your fears in the relationship, Capricorn Venus? What are your fears? Oh, I'm just going to pull the whole deck for you today. And what are your person's fears in the relationship? What are your person's fears in the relationship? All right. How do you see them? How do you see them? And how do they see you? How do they see you? How do they see you? How does your person see you, Capricorn Venus? Okay. How can you support your person right now? And how can they support you right now? What are you learning right now? Learning about relationships. And what are they learning about relationships right now? And what are you releasing right now? And what are they releasing? There we go. So if you notice while I was doing that, this side over here are your things, your feelings and thoughts and things like that. And then this side over here is for them. And here in the center, we have the issue at hand. So starting with you, we've got the Princess of Wands reversed, which is saying that you're not really being communicative right now. Maybe when you do communicate, you're being fucking sassy or a little irritable, a little childish humor. But you really don't feel like talking is the main takeaway from that I'm getting. For them, they've got the Devil reversed and the Princess of Cups. So like they may have felt like they were blamed for something that they didn't do or that was undeserved. Maybe they're overcoming something they've been like really attached to or even addicted to. But either way, they're in this new emotional state where there is a sense of vulnerability, but there's also like hope and optimism and like very innocently wanting to be loving and emotionally open. And the issue here is the give and take with the Six of Pentacles. And it doesn't always mean financial, though it could very well mean that. But it's also talking about how you are supporting one another and who's doing the giving and who's doing the taking. So next we have how what do you want out of this relationship? You have the World reversed, you have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, and you have the High Priestess reversed. So your knees are a little all over the place here, and I'll tell you why. First of all, with the World reverses, you don't want it to end. You're very attached. There's even an element of codependency here with the Nine of Pentacles reverse, because normally that would be a very independent card, independently wealthy and successful, and here you're saying that no, I need you to need me, and I need you, and I can't make it financially without you, or you without me, and that, my friends, is a little bit of codependency. I mean, take it how it resonates, but you're not even wanting to complete the cycle of the world. The world doesn't necessarily imply the relationship's over. It just means that we've kind of come to a new level, and now we're beginning a new cycle. And for this, with that, it could almost be like now we're interdependent. Like we each have our own personal identities and our personal lives, but we are still together because we want to be, and we still fill in when the other is not doing well, or when someone has a weakness, then the other has a strength, and you kind of play to that. There's like a reluctance to get to that stage because you kind of know that also means that each person is going to now have their own life to a greater degree than it is currently. And then finally, with the High Priestess reverse, it's suggesting like, definitely don't want to have any secrets. I want to be told everything, but it's also very like, I need to know everything, like almost focusing on details and minutia and all the little things going wrong to a fault. For them and what they want out of the relationship, there's the Hangman reverse and the Star upright. They are far more idealistic than you. It's just no surprise as a Capricorn, right? But they want to get out there and have a good time. They don't want to sacrifice too much with the Hangman reverse. They don't want to sacrifice at all. They are looking for a level of independence. They're also looking for dreams. They want to be inspired. They want to reach high goals. I think they see you as a person that could help them do that. But they are very aspirational with this relationship. They absolutely see it as something that is enriching for them, has potential. Next, we have, what are your fears? I got several cards here. So we have the Six of Swords reverse, which is, I thought that I had, Three of Swords. I thought that I had finally gotten away from a situation that traumatized me or hurt me badly, or that caused me a lot of emotional pain. And now I'm afraid that I'm just going right back into another one. And then the Five of Wands reversed. Breakdown in communication to the point where there's no new ideas. There's not even like fighting anymore. It's just kind of dead and over with. Those are fears, honestly. For their fears, we have the Chariot and Strength reversed. So these are almost like opposite cards. I find that interesting. They're both afraid of having to be in control and being too weak or impatient to manage the control. It's like they feel like they are incompetent, and that's likely why they're attracted to you, because you likely do have more competence in some of the things that are not natural to them. They don't have any pentacles over here, right? It's not, they may not be very good with money or very practical. They may not be, have a particularly high paying career or good money sense or anything like that. So they don't want to have to be in control of their life because they feel like they would fuck it up. Next we have, how do you see them? There's the Three of Cups and the Ten of Swords reversed. So the Three of Cups is like, you do see them as being very supportive. You see them as a fun person to be around with good energy. But with the Ten of Swords reversed, you kind of see them as self-destructive as well. Like maybe they party to a fault. This going back to like how you feel they're probably not very practical, because maybe they aren't, but they shoot themselves in the foot often, you feel, because they are focused on enjoyment and indulgence and not in the practical matters of life. And how they see you, Ace of Cups, they have a much more simple approach to how they're seeing you, which is that you are a fountain of giving and emotional fulfillment for them. And that can mean so many different things to so many different people. But essentially, either this is a new relationship, or you always have a cup full to give to them, and in ways of making them feel comfortable, loved, at home, attractive, special. All different kinds of concepts are associated with the Ace of Cups, so that's why it's more general. But basically, you emotionally fulfilled them. That is a takeaway that you can take to the bank. Next is how you can support them with the Eight of Pentacles reversed. First of all, understand that you can't keep on doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So if there's something that you've been trying to harp on with them, maybe about the share of responsibilities here, who's taking, who's giving, you're going to need to find a new approach. I also think it's important for you to understand that their value is not necessarily where you place your own value. And they also you may both be novices at this whole relationship thing. And especially when it pertains to if you have been living together or something like that, and you're trying to manage the more practical aspects of that, this may all be new to both of you, and trying to figure out what's fair and what compromises should and can be made for each of you. That's new territory, and it's going to take time to get skilled at it. But I think making space for them to be incompetent, I'm just going to say it like you probably think it is, right? That can really be supportive of them. There could also be something around a job with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, like maybe quit your job, find a new job, do something with your job. Because then you're asking, how can they support you with the Eight of Cups? But it's upright. So we got two eights, which is about things persisting for a long time and then ending. And if you're asking them to help support you by walking away from some emotional issue, you may be asking for their forgiveness. I don't know what about though. I mean, maybe, you know, your ideas of what you want out of the relationship are, maybe you have been dependent on them and you want to be able to heal and move on from that so that you can be more in equal partnership at the end of the day. That's interesting. All right. So next we have, what are you learning with the Princess of Pentacles upright? You're learning about what your true values are, which is a fantastic thing to be learning about. This is a card of someone who is learning about what is truly important and what is not. And that type of experience of learning usually happens when you get something that you thought you wanted and then you realize it's not doing it for you. And what are they learning about? We have the Two of Swords upright. So they're learning about making choices, making a decision, whether that's not being willing to make the decision because you're afraid of the outcome or what, you know, you go through this door, you're closing the other. But learning about being definitive as well and like standing on business, right? It's giving that for me. What are you releasing right now? We have the Ten of Cups with the Hermit. I mean, searching for the perfect love is, it doesn't exist. And I think that's something you're coming around to, that concept and that idea. You're changing what your values are, obviously, with this. You're learning more about, you know, even today, if you're watching this, you're learning more about how sometimes the things that you think you want are ultimately very destructive. And it's important to be realistic about others' lives too, like, and not just your own inner world, but like, if you're out here looking and seeing Joe and Jane and they've got the perfect this, that, and the third, like, you don't know what's going on in their home, in their minds, or in their hearts. And perfection doesn't exist because life would be fucking utterly pointless if it did. So I think you're kind of you're letting go of searching for the perfect love, while also gaining more realistic expectations for what love can be and what's important to you, what's really important. Is it that we have a lot of money? Is it that my partner looks a certain way? Or that, you know, everything is done perfectly equally? Or that we always stay busy and we're always accomplishing something? You know, it takes exploration of the feelings that you've desired behind the items or experiences that you're looking for. Like you're saying, I want to buy a new car. What do you actually want? Do you want the car, or do you want feelings of security, pride, and, you know, whatever. So like, it's important to explore what actual emotions we're going after when we want different things in our lives. And that can help us refine what's truly valuable to us. And then we can, build from there. It's a much more strong foundation than kind of aimlessly searching, either in new relationships or the next person or someone else's life. We can cultivate it internally, like not even in a relationship. You absolutely can take it that place, and that's very rewarding. But like, I think cultivating those emotions we're looking to fulfill internally first is so important to show up as a interdependent partner, someone that does have their own life and will be okay by themselves, but chooses to create a partnership with another person that benefits both. And last but not least, what are they like releasing? Queen of Swords reverse. So being overly critical. I mean, I wasn't even going to think that, like, after all this rest of this reading, I didn't really know if I saw them that way, but like, this is saying they're releasing this feeling of being critical, judgmental, very my way or the highway, cold and distant, hyper analytical, very nervous. And these are all just themes of like the Queen of the Swords reversed. It's so crazy. I didn't even see them that way. Maybe this has been something that they have been working on for a very long time. And it's still part of that process for them. But, you know, they are goal-oriented to an extent. Maybe it's just inferiority complex. Because they just don't feel like they are capable. And they're looking to attach themselves to you to almost kind of make their life happen for them in a way. There's a big codependency thing going on here for you guys. All right. So having said all that, we're going to get the Success Oracle card real quick. Capricorn, Venus, month of June 2024. Shoot. Okay. We have card 17, Flow, and card 46, Non-Doing. And hold on, I'm going to pause real quick to take a drink. Okay. Flow. A universal end already exists. It is useless to have a personal one. It is not necessary to struggle. It is sufficient to be in harmony with existence. Learn to flow with the totality of life and you will not have any problems. At times, pause near a tree. Let yourself be enveloped by it, losing every sense of being separate. You will feel this nonverbal contact and your brain will stop at all its chattering. Quite suddenly, you will feel silent like the silence of the tree. And you will begin to feel your heart will pulse with a new vitality and you will feel deeply satisfied. Remember, you are unhappy because you are not united with existence. In one way or another, you are struggling against it. And this is advice for youth through this month, by the way. Non-doing. The highest peaks of awareness unfold when you are merely a being. Do nothing, be immobile, absolutely silent, almost vanished. This is like saying the exact same thing. Suddenly, quite unexpectedly, the whole of existence will begin to pour flowers onto you. You are used to doing things and have forgotten that another dimension exists in life. But do not think these two realities in opposition. You must eat, get dressed, have something, so it is necessary to act. But the usefulness of doing is limited. It will never give you the great experiences for which this life is an opportunity. Resolving your survival is not a synonym for being alive. To be alive means having a dance in one's heart, experiencing the eternal flow of life in one's veins. All this cannot be obtained by doing, but only by non-action. So it's asking you this month, instead of planning and striving and working, I mean, obviously keep your job, but like, instead of the busyness that you often concern yourself with, it's time to let go of a lot of that and take time out. If it needs to be some kind of doing, then do self-care or some exercise or hike in the woods or something that you can attach a value and purposefulness to. But for the brave ones out there, just sit, or go out and people watch or, just try to let any of your issues go, especially if they're financial issues right now. there's something important for you to, there's a reason why you need to take time to do this. And I believe it has to do with your value system. When you're more connected with that flow state that the deck was talking about, it's so nebulous, like talking about this stuff, because it's like, what the hell does that mean? There's something weird, and this is like how tarot works too. Like if you're here, at least you have some understanding of that. Like there are forces in this world that we don't quite understand. And one of those is what happens when we stop constantly thinking and doing, and we just sit and are willing to receive something. And even if we're not hearing something or gaining some new insight or having an epiphany, we can still receive a type of healing that recharges us and takes us to a state where things are much more clear and defined, especially when it comes to how we feel, like the nature of our desires in our heart and what's really important to us. And so if you're in a space right now where you're redefining your self-worth and your ability to do things on your own, and it's like not even really about your partner. It's just so much about you taking time to recharge yourself, because it seems like you're really having difficulty doing anything about what you actually want. Like when I was younger, I worked at a job where I was working like 55 hours a week, and I was making a lot of money, and I was just spending it as quickly as I got it. I bought a new car, and this was a long time ago, and that kind of stuff was easier. And all kinds of stuff, and we're going on vacations and things, but like every day I sat in that place, and I was usually alone, and I just looked out at the day going past and the sun, going overhead and then setting, and realizing that's another day of my life that's gone forever, that I'll never get back. And it was that experience that taught me that time is incredibly valuable. Time to do what I want to do is incredibly valuable. And being able to buy all these things does not replace that, and it does not compensate for that. Now, that is true for me. It may not be true for everyone, but there's something about right now just taking time out to let every concern you have fall away and just be at peace. That is going to teach you something incredibly powerful about what is truly valuable to you. And that will have an incredible impact on your relationship. And that is what I have for you, Capricorn Venus. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.